Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Derek Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, we're going to talk about building your credit. That's right. You see me over here at this Fifth Third Bank. Google them. You don't want to bank here. I don't bank here. It just so happens I just wanted to point out you don't want to bank here. So anyhow, we're going to be talking about boost your credit score, but better yet, how about fixing your credit score? Forget all that fraud alerts, all that going down to the police department and getting some other my ID was stolen nonsense. We're going to do it the right way. I'm going to show you the letters. You can download them from me. All right? There's other clowns charging, but I felt it was my obligation and my duty to help you guys out because there's one letter, two letters, three letters. But right now we're going to do one letter, and I'm going to get on the computer for this. Oh, by the way, the merch. Don't forget to Stop Struggling Now merchandise. Please give a little support and love. So please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. Yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. I had a video about this before, but I'll start with the basics. This is what you wanna freeze. LexisNexis. I'll have an image on the screen so you can see it later. You wanna freeze a Novus. And you wanna freeze SageStream. SageStream, you're actually gonna have to get documents from them, but you can go to sagestream.com, I believe is the website, and pull it off, and you have to mail it in. And they like to try and block you from being able to freeze them. The reason why, credit bureaus, when they're checking on your files, they're not really checking on your files. What they're really doing is they're sending stuff over to LexisNexis, Novus, SageStream, and asking them, is this information legitimate that's on their credit report? And they send it back, go, yeah, it's verified. And then they send you a letter in the mail going, yeah, it's verified. But here's the key to everything. Remember, when you sign up with something, let's call it XYZ credit card. You don't pay XYZ credit card because you lost your job, you got sick, health problems, or you got a reduction in pay, you lost your streams of income, whatever the case may be. They try to collect. They close out your account, then they sell your account to a collection agency. A collection agency buys it up for pennies on the dollar. The collection agency calls you up and then puts it on your credit report. Well, guess what? You didn't have any business with XYZ credit collection agency, did you? Guess what? They can't put that on your credit report because they're not going to have any documents that you signed that you and XYZ Collections had to do business together. So therefore, it needs to come off your report. It's that simple. You don't got to do any trickeries. That's what we're going to talk about right now. So see, this is how we do it. It's going to take a little time, just so you know. It takes 30 days for the credit bureau to respond. So in other words, if it's the first of the month, I mail in using priority mail. I have to have tracking. They get it on the 5th of the month. They have until the 5th of the following month to do their review, check everything out, and then around the 10th of the month, they're going to send you a letter. That letter, 9 times out of 10, is going to say, things are verified. It's your stuff. It's all good. But that's not how it works. Just because I have the debt doesn't mean any old company can come after me and put it on my credit report. The company that I signed up with can put it on my credit report. This is why your credit card company will put their debt or your debt on the credit report. And they could try to collect themselves, but again, they can't give it to a collection agency, and that collection agency cannot put it on your credit report because you do not have a signed contract with that XYZ collection agency. So keep all that in mind. So we're going to get to the computer. So check this out. Here we are at the YouTube channel, StopStrugglingNow.com. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing the videos. And as you can see, we're approaching 4,700. Actually, we've already surpassed that. We're at nearing 4,800 subscribers. I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for sharing, and please share the videos. This right here is about the credit letters. This is about fixing your credit yourself. You don't need these other agencies. So the first thing that I've talked about before on a previous video where I said fix your own credit, or how to fix your own credit without paying other people, this is what we're talking about today. I'm going a little more in depth today because I'm going to get into the actual letters themselves, so then you can see what they look like. And I'm going to have links down below for all of this in the description. I'll have a link down below for links to all these places. First off, when you want to fix your credit, you have to do the first things first. You cannot skip this step. You're not sending in letters before you do this. You need to go to SageStream. There'll be a link down below. You can see it, SageStreamLLC.com. Okay? You see this opt-in, opt-out. You see file a dispute. But that is, SageStream is actually another credit bureau. The top 3 credit bureaus actually send your info to them for them to verify. They send it back saying it's verified. Then the credit bureaus, which are Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, they will send you a letter saying it's verified. And once again, we don't want a letter saying it's verified. We want a letter showing where we signed our name on a document that allows whoever is reporting on our credit report to put it on there. That is what our ultimate goal is, because without that, they can always say everything on a credit report is verified. And once again, I will say, if Capital One was your credit card company, you lost your job, Capital One does a write-off, they'll close your account. They will send that to ABC Collection Agency. ABC Collection Agency has no way to collect that debt. They bought the debt. The only thing they can do is put it on your credit report, and therefore when you try to go get a house or a car, well, you can actually probably still buy a house or a car these days with a collection, but nonetheless you can buy a house and a car with collections. But nonetheless, there are instances where you're trying to buy something and they look at your credit report and then they say, hey, you have this ABC collection on here. You need to pay that before we'll give you the credit or give you the loan or give you the mortgage. That is why they put it on your credit report. But there's one little problem that most people do not know. ABC Credit Union was not the agency that you signed a document with, so therefore they are not allowed to put it on your credit report. We'll get to that later, but that's the gist of the situation. So SageStream is who they check with. Next up is LexisNexis. That's who they also check with. So you have to freeze these accounts. In other words, you want this frozen. SageStream will require you to submit. You can see right here. They're going to want you to submit a form in order to freeze your account. I don't know if that's the exact one, but you have to go over here and you have to submit a form. Okay? So what will happen is you'll block the 3 major credit bureaus from being able to contact them and saying it's verified. So now they contact them, they get nothing back, because you've frozen your account with SageStream, LexisNexis, and Innovus. Now they get nothing back. Now they have to contact the credit bureau, the collection agency, ABC Collection Agency, and say, hey, we need some documentation. ABC Collection Agency has no documentation other than what Capital One sent over to them because they bought the debt. But they're not going to have your signature saying that you're doing business with ABC Collection Agency. That's what you have to remember, okay? LexisNexis is the next one, like I mentioned, and Innovus is the other one. LexisNexis and a Novus, you used to be able to do online. So you can do a bunch of things with them online. SageStream, you're going to have to mail something in. LexisNexis and Novus, let's just say everybody eventually is going to get to mailing things in, because the way the economy is, they're not going to want to allow people to remove things off of credit reports, because your credit score will go up. Therefore, they will give you better interest rates, and they really don't want to give you better interest rates. It's in their best interest to make sure your credit is messed up. All right, let's get to the letters. We're going to go to badcredit.org. Badcredit.org. 609 letter template. I will have a link down below in the description to this exact page. This can help you out. What you want to do is 609. That is the first step. The first step is basically you want to verify that the information is correct. That is what basic 609 is. They have 30 days to respond. If they do not respond in 30 days, this is how things get removed. And by blocking their access to information, now they have to send letters and they have to get information from other people, like I said before in the example, and it may not come within 30 days. Now, when you're sending letters, make sure you send them where it is trackable. So let's say it's the 10th of the month, you send a letter, and they get it on the 15th of the month. The clock for their 30 days basically starts on the 15th of the month, in this case. Now, the following 15th of the month is their 30 days. They will more than likely take the full 30 days, and around 35 to 45 days, you'll get a letter in the mail saying this is verified. Or, best case scenario, you'll get something in the mail that says these are the accounts that we removed from your credit report. Now, the letters are the most important thing, of course. And some people on the internet lead you to believe that they have a secret way of doing something, which, okay, there's always insider trading with everything. There's always a better way to do something. But I always like the old school method where you take your time. It takes 30 to 45 days on the first letter, 30 to 45 days if you need a second letter, 30 to 45 days if you need a third letter. So if you have any credit repair agency talking about we'll get things removed within 30 days or less, you better raise an eyebrow. Sure, it can be done. Not everything, but some things can be done, especially when it's incorrect to begin with. And then some things will get removed, but not everything. It is possible, but I would not pay somebody $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 who are saying, we'll get everything removed in 30 days, in 2 weeks, and you're running around going, I need a loan for a house, I need to do. Patience is always a virtue when it comes to loans and packages. Because as it looks right now, as the market is melting down as we speak on this day, in a week or two, there will loosen up lending to get a mortgage. Cars, you can pretty much already get with any type of credit. But now, they're going to have to figure out how to keep money moving and how to be able to allow people to refinance their homes, do things like this so they can keep fake money moving. I won't get into it right now, but that's all part of this credit situation. So just keep that in mind. Now, to the letter. As you can see on the screen, you're going to need certain information when you send in. Most of the time, you need a ID, which is going to be a driver's license or a ID card, state issued, of course. Can't be a school ID card, can't be bus pass ID or whatever the hell else. It has to be driver's license, state issued, the state issued ID, or a passport. You have to have a copy of that and include it with your letter. You should also include a copy of your Social Security card. They have to prove it's you. Now, those are the things I use. Here, she says include a copy of your birth certificate. Okay? Also, maybe even tax documents, maybe rental agreement or mortgage contract with your name and address. utility bills, saying put all of this in with the document. You can do that. Okay, that's why I have the link down below. And you can see how you can structure your letter. Okay, name, address, phone number, and date of birth and SSN number. I like to put these up top because it's right there. So there's no dispute. Because most of the time, they don't even bother with looking at these documents. They almost have it on auto reject. So that's why you want to change things around a little bit. And you make a letter for each one, specifically for Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Okay? And then here you can see how this starts out. Okay? And this is for ABC Collection Agency and account number, whatever. So what I do is I make a little box, because if there's more than one, then I list them all. So I have ABC Collection, then I'll have the account number, and any next box, any other information. I'll show you what my letters look like. Okay? Now, you can see as per section 609, this is always important. You're citing what the section is and the reasons why you need removal. So you can go by this letter, and then here are the addresses for each credit bureau: Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. And you need a separate letter for each one. And on mine, you go down and get them notarized. The letters. If you have a credit union, or if you have Chase has been hemming me up a little bit lately on notarizing forms, but they notarized my forms last time. They've notarized my clients' forms. So it's a hit and miss. Banks, the way the economy's going, everybody's trying to alleviate their liabilities, so they don't want to go above and beyond like they used to. So it's understandable. So you got to find a place that's going to notarize these documents, even though in hers, she doesn't mention any notary, I do not believe. But here's where you send your letters. These are the addresses. All right? And keep in mind, you got to have them tracked. Okay? Make sure you can track it so you know when it got delivered. So that way, when the 30 days is up and you don't receive anything in 45 days to 50 days, you're going to say, okay, that means they should have removed it off my credit report. And that's where you start going, well, if they don't send you anything back, now you have another letter you can just send them and say, hey, it's been 30 days, everything needs to be removed, I didn't receive anything, here's my documentation on when I sent it in, here's when you received it, and it's almost clear, because now they're in lawsuit territory when they do not remove something and they have not responded. And you can believe millions of people are trying to get information, so this is why they're on auto reject, because they really don't have the manpower to sit there and do something. And then they go over what a 609 letter can and cannot do. It does not remove things off your credit report. It's just getting them to verify. Most of the times things will get removed from this first letter, but it's just now you're running based on documentation in case you want to file a lawsuit. Okay? Let's just put it plain and simple. The litigious United States of America, that's what we live in, and that's where this could go. So that's what you're preparing, documentation that you sent something in and said, hey, check this out. This is incorrect. This is wrong. This should not be on my credit report. And now you have one piece of documentation for the courts. All right. So we go to the first letter, and I'll show you a different letter. Here's a letter that you can see. And as you can see, I have the Social Security numbers here. I have date of birth here. Here's the Experian. And then here's that 609. Now, if you hit me up at eric@stopstrugglingnow.com via email, I will send you this document. This is letter 1 because it says 609. And notice the boxes. And notice the notary down below that you're going to go sign. Notice the copy assist, copy of that. You're good. Okay? So now after the first letter, you get it back and they say, oh yeah, we verified it. And you're sitting there still going, no, you didn't verify anything. So now we go to letter number 2. And letter number 2, and keep in mind, you have to wait till you get a response from the credit agencies. And you're going to get them separately. One's going to come from TransUnion, one's going to come from Equifax, one's going to come from Experian, and you have to respond to these separately. And the letters have to go to separate, just like I discussed already. And so now you get a little more agitated because now this is your second written request, and you have not provided me a copy of any original documentation, which is required in Section 609, and actually it's required in Section 611. 611 is basically saying, hey, we need, where's that documentation in writing? You don't have it. No collection agency will usually have it. All they'll have is a statement from whoever the original creditor was and that they bought it. But again, even if they do have original documentation, it will not show ABC Acme Financial Services as your signature doing business with them. It will show whatever the original, and on my example, Capital One will have that original signature. There's no way ABC Acme Financial can have that. So again, now you're getting a little more stern. And this is number 2. And then here we go. I'm a litigious consumer and I'm going to pursue this matter. So now you can see that you're getting a little bit more serious because they haven't removed anything and they're BSing you and they don't have the documentation. So again, hit me up at my email address, eric@stopsignaling.com, and I will send you all 3 letters. There's no charge. All right? And then number 3, here's the third notice. And once again, you might include, like in this case, it's a TransUnion, so you'll have a TransUnion number because they'll give you a number when they send you back those letters. And now you can put in here, and this is your third written request and final warning. So now we're up to 609, 611, 616, 617. Now you're under civil liability. I can sue your behind because you're not removing stuff, and the stuff that you're not removing is not verified, and this is hurting my ability to get loans, my ability to get credit. You start, this is your third letter. And now you have to be prepared to say, okay, that's fine. I think I'll go down here to the civil court. And what is that? $5,000 minimum in most states, where you can go to court for minimum amount without having to get a full-blown lawyer for going over the $10,000 amount. But anyhow, these are the letters that you will need. I will provide at no charge, and nobody has to pay for any credit game. And I just want to show you the letters. They're 609. I'll have a link down below to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and you can read what the 609 entails. All right? This gives you an idea on why and how you can fix your credit report. Here is the 611, reinvestigation of disputed information. That's why the second letter is 611. And then you have 623. This is the responsibilities of furnitures of information. And a lot of people don't understand that the Fair Credit Reporting Act actually has a lot of information that helps you make sure that your credit profile is correct with all 3 credit bureaus. In fact, there's so many other different credit bureaus. That could even include LexisNexis, Innova, SageStream, and all of them to get things removed, because this is information age. So you got to keep all that in mind. So let's do it. You can hit me up. There'll be links down below. This is how we do it. And everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And you know it's hard out here. The Dow Jones Industrial Average on January 20th, 2017, when President Obama left office, was around 19,500 points. Today, sadly, due to policies of a new president, due to the coronavirus, due to the Federal Reserve printing money, due to zero interest rate policy by the Federal Reserve. This is all hurt due to tariff wars, due to tax cuts. And now the stock market on this day is in the 21,000 point range. Again, this is why you need extra streams of income. This is why I've been imploring you to get your credit right, to get extra streams of income. Time is now of the essence. This is why I've been saying buy that precious metal. This is why I've said a week or two or three back to start thinking about that TVIX, the VIX, the UVXYs, which is velocity stocks. This is why some shares right now are going to be on sale. Stock prices like the Ford, who pays 60 cents per year in dividends presently. Who knows what will happen if there's a total meltdown, but presently every 3 months they pay 15 cents per share, and they are under $6 a share right now. So with all that said, you have time to still get everything in order and start now. So keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.